Welcome back, grade 4. Actually, let's talk about forms of potential energy and kinetic energy. We know before what potential energy is and what kinetic energy is. Potential energy is a stored energy inside the body or inside the object. Kinetic energy is the energy that happens or causes because of motion or due to motion. Okay? Actually, there's forms of potential energy. We have three forms of potential energy. Okay, I can found energy and energy, or it's resulted from what? From gravitational potential energy. Gravitational potential energy. Like if the stored potential energy in a roller coaster at the top of a hill. So if we do it against gravity, so we have gravitational potential energy. Chemical potential energy. Chemical potential energy like stored inside the battery, and the stored energy in the battery is not used until this battery is connected to a device. So we have until now two types of potential energy. We have gravitational potential energy like found in roller coaster at the top of a hill, and this happens because object is forced to be against the gravity, so I call it as a gravitational potential energy. Chemical energy, we know this before. Chemical substance or materials or chemical substance that react together and give us energy. So this energy is still keep stored inside the battery until it's connected to a device. So I call it as a chemical potential energy because it's still stored until it's used. Okay? So third type of potential energy is elastic potential energy. Elastic potential energy. As we can see here in spring, the stored energy in a compressed spring, we call it as elastic potential energy. Forms of kinetic energy. We know before this, kinetic energy is the energy that causes due to motion. Okay, so first of all, sound energy. Actually, sound moves in the air until it hits your ears, for example, in the shape of waves. Okay, so movement of sound waves in the air is a kinetic energy because it's due to motion or energy that happens or causes due to motion. Light energy. Also light move in the shape of waves in the air. And yes, there's a movement of sound and there's a movement of light because if the sound cannot move, never we cannot ever never hear anything. And if light can't move, most of places were going to be dark because it's just light in the place that light inside it and just it. So we have electrical energy, movement of electricity through the wire. Actually, if we wanted to lighten the television, for example, we put the TV socket, the electric dust move inside it through the wires until it reaches TV, causing it to be lightened. So electric energy also is a kind of a form of kinetic energy. And the last is thermal energy. Thermal energy, vibration of particles in the substance during heating. We can see it, for example, during, water that started to boil. Okay, so vibration of particles in a substance during heating to make some kind of bubbles. I think this is the most obvious one, but still it's not in details. So we have electrical energy, thermal energy, and we have also sound energy, light energy. All of these are kinetic energy forms. Okay, so let's talk about some changes of potential energy into kinetic energy. So first example we have here, flashlight. Flashlight. Chemical energy in the batteries change into light energy and the thermal energy. And we said before, light energy, thermal energy is kind or the forms of kinetic energy. So we consider this chemical energy that's inside the battery, which is chemical potential energy, transform into kinetic energy, which is like light and thermal energy. Also, this one, chemical energy, natural gas change into thermal energy. So I said chemical energy, which is chemical potential energy, in natural gas, which is transformed or it changes into thermal energy. Spring powered car. Spring powered car. Also, this is an example of potential energy in a spring wire, which is elastic one, changes into kinetic energy. This one is like this toy that we talked about it in previous sessions. Real car. Chemical energy that found inside or that happens as a result of gasoline burning. So chemical energy change into mechanical energy, which is mechanical kinetic energy, sound energy, and the thermal energy. All of these happens inside the car, and all of these examples of potential energy, which is here chemical potential energy inside or in gasoline, changes into mechanical kinetic energy and sound energy and the thermal energy also. Last and not least, the food we eat. Actually, we store the food in the shape of chemical energy. The energy that came from food is in the shape of chemical energy, and digestive system breaks down the food you eat into very small substance, and this is we call it as a chemical energy stored inside your body until you start to make an activity. Different kind of activities that you can do because of the energy come from the food, which is a chemical energy, chemical potential energy. We can call it as a kinetic energy. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Bye bye.